YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back with another 7-round NFL mock draft. This one is for the Philadelphia Eagles, and we will do every single team. We did most of them already, so if you haven't seen any of those, check them out. We got regular mock drafts, a recent updated one, plenty more to come leading up to the draft and during the draft. We will be live April 25th. The draft starts at 7 p.m. Central, but we'll be live 6:30, so gonna have live predictions, analysis, reactions. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys can join us for that. 20K is our subscriber goal. Please help us get there. Support's been great. We're past 15K. Clicking that like button, notification button, also much appreciated. Let's get on to the Eagles mock. You know, they're sitting in a weird spot, and they could use a linebacker or two. Obviously losing Jordan Hicks, and they could definitely use an upgrade at that position anyways. But sitting in a weird spot, maybe they're in play for trading up a little bit for a guy like Devin Bush. But this is the route I went here. I like Andre Dillard for them. It's a possibility he's there. It could go a little earlier than the Eagles pick, but I think he fits at left tackle for them for the future. You know, you got Jason Peters, but I mean, he can't be long away from retiring, and, you know, injuries the last couple of years too. So this maybe isn't your day one left tackle starter, but very well could be. But he's the guy for the future, and I think it's a guy that the Eagles will like. You got to keep Wentz protected. You know, he's had his injuries too, so you got to look out for the future of the offensive line. I think they're a pretty solid team overall there, and other than linebacker, like I said, they could use some talent here. But even though they're in a tough situation to maybe get a linebacker here, maybe Mac Wilson be a little bit too much of a reach, but then they pick too far back in the second, which they have 2 second-round picks. But yeah, tough spot, but I think they'll be okay with this scenario that I gave them. I think they could go corner here in round one. You know, they have a long list of corners that can play. They just don't have that number one corner, that top tier corner anymore. I do like the potential of Sidney Jones, but and I do like Douglas as well. But you know, you could go if somehow Greedy Williams sitting here. That's a possibility. But if you don't go corner here, there's no point to going at all here in the draft unless somebody ridiculous falls to you. But we're moving on to the next round. 2 second-round picks, like I mentioned. I like Gerald Willis a lot for them. I think it's a good fit. You know, rotation probably right away. But like I said, the Eagles don't have any, you know, a bunch of glaring needs, but they have no depth at the D-tackle position. Fletcher Cox, Malik Jackson's what they got. I like the depth at the defensive end position. They drafted Sweat last year, you know, and you got Vinny Curry back too. So D-tackle rotation, very, very important. Gerald Willis is flying up people's boards. I think he's a second-round pick, and I think he fits Philadelphia here. Other second-round pick, I like McCole Hardman for them, the wide receiver from Georgia. You know, they look pretty good at receiver right now, today. They got Alshon Jeffrey, they got Deshaun Jackson, they got Nelson Aguilar. But it's very realistic a year from now to next year, today maybe, that out of those three, Alshon Jeffrey is the only one left. So you need a shifty guy, a speedy guy, and McCole Hardman is another guy that's soaring up boards. I think I was kind of high on him all along. You know, I was saying second, maybe early third all along, and now he's, you know, kind of getting talked about a lot. So very fast. You know, I would guarantee he's going to have a better pro career than he did in college. You know, he had to split with other receivers. I think you have more success in the NFL. So you can do a lot with him too. You can go deep. You can give him screen passes, slant, anything. Really, he's a great route runner, a lot of speed, playmaker. So you need your future, you know, shifty receiver. You know, Deshaun Jackson, not long-term answer, but I expect him to be pretty good this year. And Aguilar, they actually tried to trade, you know, during the combine. And so I don't think he's part of their future, even though he could be. It's a possibility. He's a solid receiver, but and they get a guy here that helps them right away, I think. So I like this pick here in the second round. 2 second-round picks, that could be big for them. So moving on to their next pick. Don't have a third rounder, they have a fourth rounder, and Jermaine Pratt's one of my recent draft crushes. I'm kind of going back and watching some tape on some guys, and I like Pratt a lot. I was already I thought higher on him than most people, but I like Pratt a lot. He should be a second-round player, but he's not getting a lot of talk, really. I think it's realistic to get him in a third or fourth as a grade A mock. So I think it's a possibility he can be here from what I'm hearing, but I think he's a second-round talent. Early second-round talent is what I have him at. High motor guy. Can play multiple different linebacker positions. I like him at outside linebacker in the Eagles defense. He can rush the passer. He can cover. Tackling machine. He's not going to miss too many tackles. Very instinctive. You know, there's a lot to like about Pratt. And, you know, over the last month, he is a big riser on my board. One of my guys of the draft right now. So I would like him very much on the Eagles. You know, I think he could fit their outside linebacker spot, and it's definitely something they can use. And it's kind of a bonus that he can get after the quarterback, too. Moving on to their next pick, Damien Harris, the running back from Alabama. Yeah, they did trade for Jordan Howard, but it's only a 1-year contract, or 1 year is left on his contract. So they could be looking for the future. You know, Jordan Howard could be part of the future if they re-sign him, but they also could be interested in a guy like this around, you know, this part of the draft, round maybe 3 at the earliest. You know, some people think they like Josh Jacobs. Yeah, they could if he falls to them in the 2nd round. I think they could take him maybe if they trade up a little bit in the 2nd round, but I don't think they're about to use their 1st-round pick on a running back. Could be wrong, but that's how I feel. And, yeah, I think they're more comfortable picking a guy around here. So I think they'll like Damien Harris, somewhat similar to Jordan Howard. What they see in Jordan Howard, they obviously like it. But is he part of the long-term future? That's a question mark right there. So Damien Harris could be the guy for the future here in the 4th round. Moving on to their next pick, Vosean Joseph from Florida. So they grab another linebacker. I think Joseph can play more in the middle compared to Pratt, but you can move either one around if you would like. Vosean Joseph's another guy that's moving up boards. You know, high motor guy, pretty instinctive. You know, I think he's a little higher on other people's boards than mine, but I do like him here in the 5th. You know, some people may have a 4th round grade. Maybe there's few that even have a 3rd round grade. I think this is more of his range, 4 or 5. And I would like this here for the Eagles. I think it's a fit. Adding him with Pratt would just revamp that linebacker unit just like that without even using a pick in your first 2 rounds. They don't have a 3rd round pick, so the first 2 rounds, you don't even use a pick on a linebacker, and you can revamp it just like that. So linebacker class seems pretty good in this range. You know, maybe not so hot in the later, very end of the draft. You know, 6th, 7th round, maybe you can get a steal in the 6th, but so you get some guys that can make an impact right away for you here. So I like these fits a lot for the Eagles. And then their last pick, I had them going with Teron Prescott from NC State, who they would probably like at guard as depth right away, but they could use possibly a left guard of the future here. So they grabbed 2 NC State guys. So yeah, there's my Eagles mock. I felt pretty good about this one. I really like I tried to find the fits for all the teams, but I really like Dillard. I think he fits in at left tackle for them for the future. The 2 linebackers fit. I think perfectly. Gerald Willis, you know, has Eagles all over him for me. I mean, couple teams. You know, multiple teams see one guy as a big-time fit, and that's why we see teams trading up even in the mid to late rounds, trying to hop over other teams to get their guys. So we'll see. But, yeah, again, we're going to go through all these teams. We're getting there. We got position rankings still to do. A couple live streams we want to do before the draft, and then during the draft we will be live. So it'll be a lot of fun. Draft's almost here. Can't wait for it. But that's going to do it for this one. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Goodbye.